Good afternoon. We'll start off with a big smile. I'm Chris, and you can't handle the truth. Or should that be the tooth? You might have noticed with the smile that I've got a big gap there where I've chipped my tooth. I'm going to tell you about it when it happened. I'm not a thug. I've not picked it up at some footballing dust up back in the 80s or 90s or whatever. I'll tell you later on where that actually happened. But what I wanted to talk about was just wanted to talk about how people can be shy on camera. Now, I've been doing a couple of YouTube channels for the last year or so with varying degrees of success or varying degrees of failure, as you can call them. And one of the problems you have when doing YouTube is, do you put your face on camera? Now, I've not really had a problem with doing that at the beginning. Being able to speak properly on camera is a problem. But walking around holding a camera, filming yourself, can be a problem as well. As many YouTubers and bloggers will tell you, there's a certain shyness that comes with it. You have to build up your confidence. So, as you can see, just literally, it's almost a year since I first posted a video on YouTube on one of my other channels. And here I am in a relatively quiet countryside path. Because even now, I still don't like walking around talking to a camera. As small as this little video camera is, it makes you feel shy. You feel self-conscious, and a lot of people will tell you that after a while that goes, the more you do it, the type of environment you're in. Oh, hang on one sec. Probably not pick the quietest of places. I'll try and get the next one. Where was I? Yeah, depending on the type of place you go to, it can make you feel really self-conscious about people seeing you talking to a camera, and they think, what's he, some sort of blogger, some sort of influencer. Whew, flies everywhere around here. But yeah, but the main thing I wanted to talk about was just being self-conscious. Now, I'm relatively confident in a work setting, in a social setting, but there's something about bringing a camera out. Filming something as you walk is one thing, but pointing the camera towards you is a completely different thing. And a lot of people will tell you that they get jitters with it, and the only way to kind of get over it is to just keep doing it. Just do it over and over again, and then at some point you won't feel self-conscious. But I think there's always going to be an element of that. But the other thing is image. Now, I'm 51. I'm not media trained or anything like that. I've worked in the IT industry for quite a number of years now. And some people aren't naturals at doing this. I'm one of them. I'm not particularly natural. In terms of image, you see a lot of the younger YouTuber, Instagrammer, bloggers, influencer type things. It's all about image. And that's why I started off with showing you my tooth. And again, it's just chipped here in the middle, right in the middle of my two front teeth. But the point is, anybody can do it. You just have to not be image conscious, worried about what people think. I wanted to come to a secluded spot where it was quiet to have a little bit of a chat. Part of the problem is I found a nice field and a countryside walk. However, the problem is this quiet secluded spot happens to be on the flight path of planes landing at Stansted Airport. It's a beautiful day for it, and there's plenty of fields around an airport. Plenty of little paths, lots of fields, lots of quiet places where there's not even any plane spotters down here. I think they go a little bit further over that way. Over there, there's a little road at the side of the airport runway, so people with the binoculars and the cameras can get a view of the plane tail numbers, is it? Is that what they collect? That's where they go. And I was down there yesterday and there was a couple of people. So, not a great amount of people. That was probably the hottest day of the year, yesterday. 1st of July, 35 degrees, something like that. It was hot. The thing about appearing on camera is image. And it's what stops a lot of people from doing it. They're very self-conscious about, as you say with the younger people, how they look and what sort of image they're portraying and whether they're going to have star quality. I'm a 51-year-old bloke. I'm a bit too old for star quality. I don't have any. Probably never going to get any now unless I win the lottery, which we all know the odds of that. So, yeah, I'm not bothered about showing my tooth off online. It's something that bugs me because I'd like to get it fixed. But the cost of it, it's a lot of money. I looked into it several years ago, and I think they were looking at £400 or £500 then, just to whether they were going to reconstruct it. I'm not sure. You can't do it on the NHS, so you've got to do private. So then you have to pay 150 quid for 100 quid for an appointment. You've got to pay another 100 quid to have your teeth jet washed with that tiny little thing, which I think is worse than a drill, to be honest with you. Or you can go to Turkey and get it done for a fraction of the cost and get a 5-star all-inclusive holiday into the bargain. But that's not without its dangers, obviously. So yeah, so the point is, I should be a little bit conscious and might not want to appear on camera with my tooth looking the way that it does. It's not the prettiest. I actually go and buy some filler from Home Bargains and Savers. It's about £5 and it's a little bit of cement and you put it in and it hardens the teeth up a little bit. It looks really white. And it doesn't quite match in with the colour of your teeth anyway. And it always looks a little bit odd. But for me, it's the feel of something. If I can get it shaped into a particular, so it matches in with my teeth a little bit when I'm eating, when it sets and I can eat, then it'll feel a bit more natural, and my tongue rolling around my mouth as well. That'll feel a little bit natural. So, I think there's another plane coming here. I don't know if you can see it in the background there. It's better just to have a couple of yapping dogs, isn't it? There it is. There it is, going over my head. So yeah, so I like to put this tooth cement in just so that it feels a bit more natural. I know people can stare at it, but what can I do about it? What can I change? There's nothing, is there? Apart from getting it professionally done, which I'm pretty sure they'll want to grind it all down into a stump and then fit something over the top of it, and it'll probably look like something from The Unaways Essex. But the point is, I've just got to accept it, haven't I, for a bit. I might save up and I might go and get it done at some point, but that's purely because I'm self-conscious, isn't it? And let's face it, I probably will get it done, because if it gets worse, you're going to be left with a big gap in the front of your tooth. And then it looks like you come from a rundown British seaside town, not naming any names. But yeah, what is image? People care a lot about it. I don't particularly. I like to dress okay. I don't spend a fortune on clothes, never have done. I see kids now spending hundreds of pounds on pairs of trainers, and it's become a bit of a thing, hasn't it, to collect these things and to queue up overnight, you know, to get the latest pair of Adidas trainers and what have you. The only time I remember people queuing in the past was either for the cinema or for the next Boxing Day sale, where people could go and buy a load of bikinis and stuff at Christmas time. But yeah, they all go mad for these trainers. I don't spend anything like that on trainers. I still don't like spending over 50 quid, but you can't get a lot with 50 quid nowadays, can you? So yeah, just make yourself look nice. Iron your clothes where you can. Have something nice on that looks clean, not too tatty. Not everybody can afford to do that all the time. But the point is, image for me is if I'm wearing a pair of shorts, wearing a t-shirt, which I'll show you what I got on just now. Let's see if we can, yeah, relatively decently dressed up, just walking around in the sunshine. It is only 2nd of July, so we've got some nice weather here. But if people want to go mad, they can go mad. I don't want to go mad. I would rather save my money, spend it on holidays and treats with the family. Each to their own. But my main point is, when you're making videos, hang on, we've got another one coming. See that in the background? Something cool about watching planes landing, it's got to be said. But yeah, when you're making a video, you don't have to appear on camera. A lot of people will go and film places and then they'll do a voiceover because they don't like talking to camera or appearing on camera. And even then, some people feel a little bit shy about just even recording their own voice and putting that out there. You know, image is a thing that projects in multiple layers. But it needn't be, you know. I'm walking here in an empty field, in an empty track. There's nothing around me. More importantly, nobody around me, apart from a couple of jumbo jets or Boeing 737s or whatever they might be. You can practice doing this. Obviously, it helps if you have a script. I haven't got a script. I've thought a little bit about what I want to say. and I'm forgetting half of it, in all honesty. But this is just a little bit of rambling, a little bit of common sense, a little bit of wisdom. We now have a car driving up the strip here, bizarrely. But yeah, the whole point is you can go out, you can practice, you can film yourself, you can drive around, you can talk while you're driving, you can get out into a field somewhere, walk down a quiet path, and you can practice this sort of thing. And you shouldn't really feel self-conscious. You can actually film yourself here, you can watch it back, and you can go, I don't like the way I look. I'm never putting that out onto YouTube or TikTok or whatever. And that's your right, you don't have to do it. I probably will post this on my own personal channel because I feel like there's things that I need to talk about, things I want to get off my chest. Might be things that some people agree with, some people don't. It might be things that nobody will see because the algorithm might not pick it up, chuck it out there, put it in front of people's eyes. People might not be interested. People might think I'm talking rubbish. But on the other hand, the gamble is some people might do. Who knows what's successful these days, and who knows what people really want to watch. The world isn't about TV anymore, is it? We make our own TV. Hang on a minute. This looks like a big one coming across. I'm just going to flick round and film this. They seem to be going really slowly, don't they? Don't even know what. I don't even recognise what flight that is. I don't recognise the tail where the logo is, but I can look it up on Skyscanner and see. So, yeah, so the moral of this first story really is, if you want to get onto YouTube, if you want to do a bit of creativity, if you want to film yourself, take pictures of yourself, record yourself, why not have a go? You could be balding, you could have a scar down your face. We see this all the time, and there's people out there in the media that do this. The point is, don't be scared. If I can do it, I'm sure a lot of you guys can do it. What have you got to lose? Just give it a go. You might find you enjoy it, you might find it gives you confidence where you were lacking before. There's lots of good reasons to do this kind of thing. People find it therapeutic. People find it time consuming. People find it gives them a purpose. People find that it helps to just talk to things, and even if you're just talking to a camera like this and talking to yourself and watching it back yourself later or showing it to a member of your family, it might help just to explain some things that you previously couldn't explain. So my advice is just give it a go. Might not do anything, might not enjoy it, but at least you'll get a walk in the countryside. Yeah, you can practice. This is all this is, and I'm a year into doing this. I've done things where I'm filming from home, filming on holiday, filming on days out. And I've always got this thought in my mind about my tooth, so I don't smile so much when I'm doing it. But do I fix it, do I not? I don't know. For now, I'm not in a position to make that choice. So in the meantime, I'm just going to carry on. I'm going to be walking along. I get plenty of time off from work when I'm working night shifts, when I'm working away from home. These are the things that you need. It's one thing to just fill your time up, isn't it? Give yourself something to do, see if you can do something creative. But I'm going to be back with another one soon anyway. I've got something I really want to talk about, so I'm going to go and film that now. If you're watching this, thank you for watching. I'm not changing my clothes. I'm not going to do it with my tooth, so the next time you see me, I'll look exactly the same. Bye for now. Almost forgot. The question mark at the beginning of the video. How did I break my tooth? I did it when I was 8 years old. I did it in a swimming pool in Skelmersdale in Lancashire. I was learning to swim. I dove into a small pool. It was about 3 foot deep. Or 2 foot deep, I forget. But I dove in and I chipped my tooth on the bottom of the pool on a tile. My face just kind of hit it. And I'm still living with it now, 40 years later, because it was one of my adult teeth. It wasn't this bad back then, but that was what caused it. Bonkers there. Anyway, see you soon.